Hey guys, welcome to Oz Homestead. Thanks for joining us. So today what I got to do is I got to build a bridge strong enough to hold my tractor so I can cross this creek here and have access to this other side of my property here. Let's get to it. Hey, get out of there. All right, so as you can see here, we've got our logs. Now, these logs came from some trees that I timbered over the past 6-7 months or so. And so what we did, my father-in-law and I chopped them down to 10-foot length because that's the length that we're going to need for this bridge. And then I put a tarp down and I moved it as I went for each one, and I used 50-50 mix of used motor oil and diesel fuel and wiped it down with that rag. And so I got a good nice stain on these that should help prolong their life. So these are drying out, and in a day or two I'll move them over to the location so that we can start laying these down for the bridge. So I removed the original bridge that was here because it was rotting out, and so there's a lot of old bricks here that I gotta get out of the way. Now the cool thing about these bricks is these bricks are super old. These are handmade bricks that were here on the property before myself and the previous owner got here, and these things are probably made by the old homestead that used to be here. So it's pretty cool that hundreds of years later, probably 150 160 years later, these are still usable bricks that somebody handcrafted. So we're gonna probably end up reusing these for something else, but for the time being I got to get them out of the way. Check out this cool looking centipede. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna dig this out a little bit, and the idea is to lay some bags of cement down here so that the logs that I'm gonna use across can sit on those bags of cement instead of just being on the ground. All right, what I'm doing here is just trying to, as you can see, the other side is lower than this side, so I dug this part out more down here. Dude, I'm out of breath. I haven't really worked this hard in a minute. But I dug this side out here so it's a little lower. There's a slight angle, it's not that big of a deal for me, but I could stack an additional 2 bags on that side to get the height up on the other end, but we're just going to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. All right, so I think this foundation here looks reasonable. They're 6 feet apart, or there's a length of 6 feet on both sides. That's how big I want the bridge to be. Tractor is roughly 5 foot wide. I've got 4 logs that are 10 foot that I treated with the mix of diesel fuel and used motor oil. They've been dried out, so I brought them down here. So I got 4 of them, and now some are thicker than others, so I might have to shim a little bit, but we'll see. But there's going to be 2 logs on each side, so boom 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 across, and then I'm going to do my crossboard. So the important thing is that where the tires hit on the vehicles is supported by these logs, and the reason I did 2 logs instead of just 1 is I like to over engineer things. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it really good, and I treated the logs here so that they don't rot. So let's go ahead and we're going to have to grab the tractor and get the logs across. All right, so I got those logs across a little bit. So now I'm gonna have to bring the tractor around and tie a chain to these ends so that I can get them in place. So let's go ahead and do that. Who needs a tractor?
Strong like bull, smart like tractor.
All right, that one I'm gonna need to change. Through the Shenandoah, I could spend forever just getting to know ya. Sign says it's for lovers, more will I roam. Virginia, Virginia, I'm home. If you're interested in hearing that song better than I sing it, you should check out Emily Woodhull. She's a local artist in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And I actually had the privilege of meeting her not too long ago. And it was a pretty cool experience. She's an awesome person. She's very down to earth, and her music's pretty legit. So if you get a chance, check out her website. I'll put the link in the description below, and her music's on Spotify, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. So shout out to you, Emily. Stupid. What am I doing? Using these lag bolts here. 8-inch lag bolts here. And this is what I'm using to anchor. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to have the ratchet finish that off. But what I'm doing is anchoring these logs into the posts here. So I did this on all 4 corners on the outer logs. All right, I'm gonna finish this off with a ratchet because that drill I have ain't got the power. Ain't no room in the gumbo. So all these logs are anchored in. These posts are cemented into the ground. I use water from the creek just to set that concrete. And so now what we got to do is let these dry out. Then I'm going to come back with the chainsaw when they're dry, and I'm just going to lop this off here, and then we'll be able to put our boards across. And so the boards are going to be screwed in across, and so those will anchor in the inner logs there. It's pretty hot today. I was not ready. I'm not ready yet for this super hot weather. We went right from winter to summer, it seems like. You know, fall was nothing. I just want to say that I appreciate all the subscribers who have subscribed already. We have 700 and I think 750, if not 760. So that's like, I remember before when we had 50 subscribers, 70 subscribers. So, you know, I've been doing this for a while, and I really just want to say I appreciate everybody who has subscribed, because it gives me the motivation to keep doing this stuff and filming it. I'm going to be doing all this stuff anyways as I make this property better as a homestead. So I enjoy filming it to share it with you guys and help you guys out, or, you know, just as entertainment. So if you are somebody who's not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please share the video and comment. But for now, let's get these boards across. So I have these 6x2s. They're 12 foot long, and so I'm going to cut them in half so they're 6 foot. And that's what we're going to use for our cross boards. I got my 2x6s. These are 6 foot long boards across here, and I got these 4-inch deck screws. These are outdoor, you know, wood screws. So that's what I'm going to use just to make sure I get deep into those logs. So what I want to do too is just make sure I have like roughly 2 inches of space in between each of these. So I'm going to use a piece of a 2x4. So they might end up being a little kind of lopsided or side goggly, but all right, so a couple things. I ran out of those 4-inch deck screws, so I have some 3-inch torque bit screws. So I'll finish up with those, and then I'll get more 4-inch later. Another thing, the reason I'm holding this log, this is a cedar that I cut down a while back. I knew I needed it for something, so I got 2 cedar logs. What I'm gonna do with these is they're gonna basically sit down like that. So when I build the berm, so I'm gonna take rocks and soil and just pile it up here as a ramp. And this is gonna sit in the middle so all that stuff doesn't flush through the bottom there, through the gap. So that's what I'm gonna use those for. But let's finish up the rest of these boards in the back, and then we're done with the main bridge part. And then we gotta build the ramps. All right, so the main line of effort is completed. The bridge, the actual bridge part is done. seems really good. So now we just got to build a ramp so you can actually drive on it. So as you can see, I'm trying to fill these gaps here, and then also just build like a solid like ramp here. So I found, hey Reba, hi Tula. All right, I found this stack of logs. There's a couple of these on the property, probably from whenever the old farmers used to be here. Make sure there's no snakes. So whenever they were tilling and stuff like that, I'm sure they found these. So we're gonna use these. That big Chungus rock right there was like 100 pounds. That was a lot to lift. So not bad over here on this side. We're gonna go grab some more rocks, probably use the tractor. Those, Reba, those. So we got a whole mess of rocks here that I think were left just over the years. I mean, this is, you got trees growing through the middle of this pile, so this is old. I got Tammy the tractor back there, so I'm gonna load up the bucket and we're gonna use these for the bridge. Got my two helpers here with me. So it looks like the ramp is good. I got a lot of rocks down here. I put some clay on top and I ran over it and I got the tractor to about here. I just wanted to compact that side. I'm pretty happy with it. It seems comfortable. I mean, the tire tracks are exactly where I want them. Now I just got to do this side and then we'll be good. I took the spare bag of concrete cement and I just put it right there. And I got this big Chungus rock here. I just got to get more rocks, fill in all this, put some dirt down, and then I'll try it out. Then we'll be done. Moment of truth. I did it. I built a bridge that can hold my tractor, which is awesome. It only cost me $200, which is great. So $200 in lumber, screws, and those lag bolts and stuff like that, and cement. The rest is stuff that I sourced from the property, which is pretty cool. I'm glad this is done. I have access now with the tractor over here. I don't have to drive all the way around the property to get to it. The dogs are going wild in the background. So pretty cool. Thanks for joining us on this video. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and do all the cool things. Thanks.